This is task 2A part 2, where we're looking at the annotated evidence that you need to show. Now what you want to do is take all of the requirements and list each of these as subtitles. So if we take this as an example, it must be developed from scratch, so I've got started from scratch as a subtitle. We've then just got some explanation, but then it's the screenshots that go with the explanation as well. So I'm showing how we started with a blank canvas. Now we've got to look at the vector drawing software. So I've shown an image of my logo so that it's not just showing the software. You see, if I just showed that I'd used ImageBot and I've said it's a vector drawing app, but if I just showed that and I didn't include the image, it doesn't show that I've actually done it for the logo. So we need to make sure that that is included in there, the logo and the actual software, so we can see that software. I've also, just to add clarity to my annotations, is put the shapes. I've just moved them and then I just clicked undo afterwards, just to show that those are the shapes and that they are the same vector objects. The 300 by 300 pixels is quite straightforward, showing evidence how that was set up. Transparency, so I'm showing here that I picked a transparent background and that the canvas color is transparent, and I'm also just pointing out that this software uses grey to indicate its transparent background, because the moderator probably won't know that. I'm showing that it looks like a lamp by explaining what makes my lamp, having a circle on top of the triangle being the base and the circle being the lamp. I've shown how I've grouped the objects together, so notice they're selected and then I've selected group, but I've also shown that that has actually completed the task of grouping them together, because it's now all one object with one set of handles. I've shown the letter L. It's fairly obvious that it's there, but I've just pointed that out. I've mentioned how I've used no more than two colours, because I've used black and white, and I've also just reminded the moderator and my teacher that the grey background isn't actually a colour, but it's a transparency. I've then shown how I've exported it as a bitmap and said that PNG is a bitmap format. Now I separated these last two into two things: exported as a bitmap and then retaining the transparency, by just pointing out the PNG format supports transparency. And to prove it's transparent, I just got PowerPoint. I put a red background on PowerPoint and put the image in, and then you can see the transparency around the image because it's kept the red background. And that was all we had to do for that task and for the annotations. But remember, every single one of these needs to be completed in order to get these 2 marks.